1973. Tragedy and despair have struck Central Texas. A young college student named Maria Flores has seemingly vanished without a trace. She was last seen near the town of Newt more than 2 weeks ago, but with no physical evidence, the investigation has stalled. With few leads and even less hope, Maria's younger sister Ana Flores and a group of her closest friends set out to find their missing loved one. But any grief or sadness caused by Maria's disappearance would pale in comparison to the agony and despair they would soon discover. What awaited this group of youths was a nightmare beyond belief. The events surrounding Maria's disappearance would be just one of the many bizarre crimes later known as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
So is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre worth getting? To keep a long story short, yes. I'm gonna keep this a little bit brief. If you're an owner of an Xbox or a PC, it's definitely worth getting on Game Pass, as it's way cheaper like that. If you're a PlayStation owner, I do believe that this game would be worth playing if you're into games like Dead by Daylight or Friday the 13th. Of course, Friday the 13th isn't a playable game anymore, so this game's definitely the next best thing. It has a lot of elements from Dead by Daylight and from Friday the 13th in the perk system, the skill tree, and basically I think that this game does have a pretty good standing in this community. I think that it does have a chance, especially if they keep updating it and keeping the killers interesting. I think that will be pretty much the main thing driving this game, as well as survivor abilities and survivor skills. Those are also very important, but those are definitely not the most important thing. One thing that definitely makes this game more interesting than others is the fact that there's 3 killers and they all have their own abilities and they can basically one-shot you if you're not careful. It can be very hard to escape on this, especially for fighting against 3 good killers who are communicating. Of course, if they're not communicating, that could also be beneficial to you. This game is very important with the team-based escape route gameplay. It's always best to try to escape with multiple people. You always do have a better chance. Of course, you can only survive alone. There are plenty of characters that are made for that, like Connie. As you can see in the gameplay, she's able to break through doors nearly instantly. She could be very beneficial for mid to late game, especially if you're communicating with your team. The more the merrier. So the more people that you have together, the more of a chance you guys have to escape, and the more you guys can work together and use your abilities in sync, it can very much go a long way. To wrap it up, I think that this game is very much worth getting. If you do own a PC or Xbox, there's very little to no risk of playing this game, especially if you have the Game Pass, or wouldn't mind throwing $10 to it to getting the Game Pass. But most people who own them already own the Game Pass simply because of its benefits. If you own a PlayStation, I would definitely recommend watching gameplays and deciding for yourself if you think that it's worth it, looking into the perk system and skill trees and such, and thinking if it is worth it as well. But I think that it is very much worth it, especially if you like games that have a very consistent loop and can definitely give you a lot of scares. I think that this game is definitely something that a lot of people are going to enjoy playing. I'm going to leave you guys with the rest of this gameplay so you can watch and hopefully see me and my teammates escape. See what happens. Thank you for watching.
Seriously? Please don't hear me. Please. This should help the pain. I guess I can't save you after all. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Better than nothing.
Stop it. What is this? This looks like some kind of lockpick. Thank God. Think. Oh my God. Thank you.
If you stayed and watched this long, please feel free to like and subscribe.